Hi, Lawrence Dodds here from PC Manpower with hopefully another exciting video. This one actually follows on from my previous video where I touched on the confusion and some of the options with Microsoft Office 365, and in today's video what I wanted to do was give you at least three options should you not want to go ahead and buy Microsoft Office 365 for whatever reason. I just chose three options. There are quite a few more, but these are the three that I'm familiar with. So let's just jump straight in and have a look at the first one, which is OpenOffice. This one's actually been around for several years, at least 10 years that I know of, and even longer than that really. So let's have a look at the Word equivalent text document module. So I'm just going to click on this text document here, and let's open up the equivalent of Microsoft Word. Right, okay, so we've got this open and everything looks quite familiar, everything looks straightforward on here. I've got all the fonts I want to use. Standard fonts, it's using all the Microsoft fonts that are on my PC. That's great. And let's have a look. Okay, it's telling me there's an update, but we're not really worried about that. And I've got all the usual icons for laying out my page, the paragraphs, whether I want to justify it, central justify, so forth and so forth. Font size, bold, yes, yeah, all those sort of things, they're very similar. It's following a very central theme. In fact, you'll probably find that most of the alternatives will follow a central theme, that theme being the Microsoft sort of master record or master sort of template, as it were, for Office layout. So there's a similar theme. So you will find that if you're used to using Office or used to using one of these, when you actually grab one of the alternatives out there, you will find some familiarity with the layout. Now, one of the things that would concern me if I was going to decide to use this would be what happens if you compile some sort of document and you send it off to somebody. What if the other person has got Microsoft Office and you've just compiled this on this OpenOffice writer here? What would happen then? Is it going to block the document or what? So, well, let's have a look. If I click File and I want to save this, I click Save As off of the File menu there, and just over here there's the down arrow which gives me the option to save the type, and it's telling me it wants to save it in this ODF text document. But let's pull the drop down menu and see what other alternatives we got. Hey, look at that right there. I've got quite a few options. One of them being I can save this in a Word document, the equivalent of an XML document Word format. It's quite an old form, but nevertheless Microsoft Office will, once it sees this file, it will open it with great ease. It will have no problem in opening this type of file should I send this to my friend Matt down the road who's got Office 365. If I send him this as a document, he will just simply open it as a Word document and be none the wiser. So that's kind of good. I like that. That's quite a good thing to have on there. And there are quite a few other options for changing things, though I'd say it's kind of simple. And you know what, this actually reminds me of Office XP. If you ever had Office XP and you've used computers and Microsoft Office for many years, you may recall the version of Office XP which is a very similar layout to this, which is fine, but the theme could do with modernising. But as far as typing a letter and doing all my bits and bobs on there, I think this is absolutely fine. But let's not waste any time now. Let's close this down because I want to go into the next one and go through these rather quickly. So let's go to the next one. LibreOffice, this is another one. Again, as I might have mentioned before, all of these are free, so you wouldn't be charged for these. These are open to anyone to use and download. So let's just open this one. And let's just go to the writer or the Word equivalent, click on that, and this looks a little bit different. The icons here do look a little bit more graphic on here, and larger too by the look at them. But again, there's a similar theme throughout this in the style, the font's size, how I sort of lay out my text if I want to justify right, left or centre or so forth. And over here's a couple of little notches. See what these do. If you just click on, yes, we've got some options for other bits and pieces on there. So let's just close that. Now again, the one thing that's going to bother me is this going to be able to save in a Office type equivalent? So one of my friends or somebody I might send this to, are they going to be able to open it up okay? So let's have a look. Save as, and let's do the drop down menu. You notice it's very similar to OpenOffice when I tried to do the save as option on there. But look at that. I just noticed that straight away. I'm a bit surprised there, as you could tell. Although I've got the option to save this in a doc format and so on, there is Microsoft Word 2007 to 2013 docx format. So if I saved that in that format, I'd be very happy with that, because it's very close to the latest versions, the latest type of file format that Microsoft would use in Word. So if I sent this to my friend Matt, he would have no troubles at all in opening this up. In fact, he probably wouldn't even know that I'd compiled this in the LibreOffice program that I'm actually using here. So again, quite a nice little system. It seems to do exactly what you want it to do, and very similar to Office in its layout. So let's just close that one. My third and final one is the WPS Office. Now all three of these have got options for spreadsheets as well as the writers as well. But I'm not going to go into the spreadsheets on them today, as it would be quite a lengthy introduction into the alternatives. I just want to give you a look and feel of what is actually out there. Just a quick glance, just so you know what you have on offer to you if you don't want to use Office 365. So let's open up the WPS writer and see what we get. Well, straight away this throws quite a few templates at us, which is fantastic. So if you wanted to do some sort of, I don't know, newspaper article or poetry or birthday card or something along those lines, or Christmas card, this seems to have the layout and template for all of those. If I just want to do let's just click on here and just do new blank page. Just clicking on these icons, this was what I would do if I was using Microsoft Office. That's exactly what I would do. I would click on those icons as I've just done and navigate to where I wanted to go. So if I was, say, suddenly dropped into an Office environment that used Microsoft Office, I would probably find everything very familiar to me. This is what a lot of these new alternatives are doing now. The similarity to the layout is very similar indeed, so you would probably have no problem. And for example, if you had children at school or students that were using Office at school, would come home and maybe had to use something like WPS Office, the layout would be very similar, and so they would find themselves in a very comfortable position in using the layout and the templates in this type of scenario. And I do like the look across here. It looks very modern and stylish, and is actually very similar to the new versions of Office in its layout, with the different icons opening up a separate ribbon or a different ribbon below it with all the options, rather than drop down menus for the old style alternatives that they used to have. So very, very nice indeed. What about, again, if I wanted to save this in, I can see straight away save as. I can just click on save as and do it that way, or do as I've just done before, and again it gives me the option to save in an Office 2007 to 2010 type file format, which is great. So again, I have no issues whatsoever, no problems or worries that if I compile a document and send it off, whether it's going to be interpreted or read properly by the receiver at the other end. So that is absolutely fantastic. Out of all of the three, I would have to say that I do like the LibreOffice functions and some of the options on there, but the look and feel, I kind of lean towards WPS Writer. OpenOffice, I think it will do the job, but for me, I kind of like the style of the other ones, although I have to say OpenOffice does an equally great job as the others there. But there are three that you may pick and choose simply because you like the style, the layer and so forth. But there you go, there's three on offer, three that you can download. I will leave the links on my website for you should you wish to follow those up. Thank you very much for watching this video.